How do everyone? Welcome back to Potty Mouth. Yes, I haven't got a clue. Actually, I've just realised what number show this is, but we are here anyways. Monday night, 7 o'clock. Jesse, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Sorry, I'm glowing here. I didn't have the sun out a second ago, and now we've got problems. But never mind. It's too late to do anything about it.
Jess, we've had terrible weather up here as well, so it's nice of you knowing you've got sunshine there. Is quite a nice thing. So nice to have you coming on. JB.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir? Now, JB, apparently you were with Jess last week when you got that train down and you got a little bit drunk. I've just been saying before we came on, trying to keep up with Jess. It's not a good thing, man. Don't, man. You'll embarrass yourself. I'll try to get JB on to talk about this because I think it was a garden show or something, or garden equipment. Didn't make it. So the demon drink. So the shandies, too many warm shandies for you. That's what it was.
I was in no fit state for an interview, Tony.
Audrey, lovely to have you. Now, Audrey, I have to apologise because I think last week we had a compost fetish, which was rather embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? In the real world, do you know what I mean? It was a little bit.
You guys were having a great time.
So apologise for that, but it's lovely to have you on as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to be here.
We'll kick it off then, Audrey. What's just like I say, I didn't talk to you much last week. Anything happening? Anything soon?
Hey, let me think back 2 weeks. No, yes, that's all I'm doing.
All right, it's like just constant now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm concerned. We've had some heat, like warm weather. I think for you guys it would be like
tropical.
10 or 11.
Right.
And I've got those, I won't say the word jugs. I'm going to say my cartons, whatever they are. My containers are outside. And I'm scared they're getting too warm. Because we're really getting some heat. JB.
I'm sorry.
It just
said the word jugs.
How many minutes are we in? Sorry, 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
I wanted to be the first one to say peppers today. Because have you noticed that in the chat, people are like, how soon are they going to say peppers? Is it going to be JB or Tony? Who is it going to be?
Audrey, out of, say, 10 being the most prominent, do you think you will get more frosts before the
absolutely. We're not. Right. This is like fake spring right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going down, I think, well below zero to you guys just in 2 days.
Right. Are you all right, Jess? It's some sort of meditation.
I know. I'm thinking, what's going on?
There's a nuclear explosion in this room right now.
Need some sunglasses.
Audrey, it's definitely going to be like freezing weather, because that's probably the most dangerous for you then, because all these little seeds are going to germinate and wither.
I know. So I need to get them moved into a shady location.
Right.
So the heat won't quite do so much. But yeah, so just been sowing. My grow shelf is almost full.
And what have you been sowing this week?
This week, peppers.
Nice.
I got 12 new ones in, so I've started all of those. And
are these the peppers that you weren't going to grow this year because you've got far too many?
Yes.
Right.
You're welcome. But I put it all up to the chili special. It just,
mission accomplished.
What are you gonna do? So did a lot of those. I was very restrained though with how many I started. So I only want to have one plant of each because these are peppers I've never had. So I figure one plant. We'll see what goes to the top of the list and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So
sorry, just to jump in there, Audrey. What heat are you putting onto them peppers, and where's the heat coming from?
They're on a heat mat.
Right.
Under the lights, because I put the lights on before they're germinated, because I want them to get that light the minute they pop up. So
Jesse's getting a lot of light at the moment.
Do you want to like you should have blind, Jesse? Can you?
Would you like some sunglasses? Maybe
that would be quite funny. Can you Jess? You go and shut the blind or move your computer if you want to move a little bit out this. I
might just have to shunt us ever so slightly over because it's so bright I can't see anything. Can you come amongst yourselves? Give me a second.
Right. No problem. So peppers then, Audrey, you've done them. Yeah. Any cucumbers, anything else then, tendery?
The cucumbers, I pulled off all the early blooms because the cucumbers were only about 6 inches tall and they had like 10 blooms each. And I thought, okay, that's ridiculous. So now I think they're actually making some cucumbers. So I'll be happy to get one cucumber off both plants.
Right, I never got round to sowing that early one. No. So.
So they're doing good.
I guess behind you then, Audrey, that's everything there, is it?
Yes.
That's just set up there. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, but there's 4 shelves, so there's 2 that you really kind of can't see. Yeah.
It is this, like, we're getting into this now, juggle time almost. Do you know what I mean? Or you can see it coming. It's coming
like a train. Yeah, it is coming. Now the potatoes I put in, I found potatoes like in my potato basket that had sprouts on them that were about 2 inches long. So I threw them in a little pot. They're up like 6 inches.
Right.
So I'm thinking, what am I going to do with these?
Yeah.
I can't get them out for like 2 months. So I should have maybe waited a moment, but we'll see.
Could you, I mean, I've no idea if this is even feasible or laughable. Could you cut the tops off? Will they grow again? Because like you say, it's 6. If they're 6 inches now, there's no way you could keep them indoors for 2 months.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never done that.
Mm-hmm. You know how like Jess topped our onions the other week? I wonder if you can top tomato, like potatoes and maybe get a bigger root, bigger. There'll be people in the chat going for Tony, man, for God's sake, you'll kill the bloody plant, man. You know what I mean? It's like
what I should have done was knock those sprouts off and let them resprout and then plant them.
Yeah.
But I was excited. I put them in and.
So then, Audrey, because I hate to see a plant die, so you're not going to let them die. So how are you going to?
I'm going to wait till they fill up that pot completely, and then I'm going to move them to a bigger one. The problem is then I have to dig a hole that big to plant them when I put them outside.
But so where are they getting the light from now then?
Oh, they're on my shelf.
All right.
They're at the bottom.
Right.
With some like with my ginger and stuff that needs more room.
Wow. So you need another shelf.
You're preaching to the choir right here.
I think everyone says that to themselves at one time, just like end of March. I need another shelf.
Yeah. No, this is probably the earliest I've been this loaded on my shelf.
Well, I'm looking at Jess's there, and Jess looks half the size of yours, Audrey. So God knows what Jess is going to do when all hers need kind of, flowers. Tomatoes have yet to be sown.
I didn't do it very well because obviously I'm in the blinding light here, but I've just shunted everything across one side because I've had them actually in like real sunshine rather than just under the lights because the sun's pouring in here. So I've had them all spread out across here in real sunshine. Hence, there's a bit of space on there at the moment because they're all just like piled up on my desk in panic, like to get on here. But I think they're really appreciating some real light, like compared to the lights that I've been giving them. You can see they actually look chuffed with it. So yeah.
So Jess, what have you been showing anything else? Have you been up the allotment or just?
Yeah, I've been doing bits and pieces, but I haven't been sowing very much. I'm about to start again on the sowing. I did the early stuff. The only things I sowed in February was like broad beans, and some flowers. That was it. I haven't sown anything else. Everything else is going to kind of start again in March. So,
Well, it's funny when you said the broad beans, I think I went out the next day because I've got like box of like seeds all there. I thought I've got some there. I'll get them done. I'll get them done. So they're kind of some, but I think we're all on this precipice now, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? It's all just.
yeah.
But actually, JB, your video saying you've jumped. You're in.
I've just started.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was just laughing to myself because I had a real a garden fail like off camera, and in that last video, I saved loads of like different beans and all that kind of thing, and I had all these broad beans in this bag, and the pods like went disgusting, like really black, and a lot of them looked kind of semi-dead on the plant, but I was like, I'll stick them in the bag anyway. When I took the broad beans out, they looked all like green and a bit like mank. They just looked a bit off, and I was like, I don't think they're very good. Kind of chucked them out. And then later on, I opened a fresh packet of broad beans. Turns out that's just what broad beans look like. I'm pretty sure all my saved ones were fine, and I could have planted them. But hey ho.
What were you? Because you offered with some beans, didn't you? Like, what were them ones in GB?
That's the Kalima, the French bean, which Audrey very kindly sent over.
Right.
They're from, it's a Baker Creek variety, and you can't really get them over here. And last year when I grew them, honestly, just blew me away.
Yeah,
the sweetest little like French beans, you know, the fine green beans that you get. I'd never grown green beans before, and I did the Kalima and also the Orinoco, which is like a French bean. And I'm really glad I did that because I had a good comparison. And I don't know if Orinoco is maybe like a bit middle of the road or just not good, but compared to the Kalima, it was so good to have a comparison. Because when I first tasted the Kalima, I was like, maybe just French beans are like my new favorite vegetable, but no, it's the Kalima because the Orinoco ones were horrible. It just tasted like green, you know, no sweetness or anything. It was like,
are them Orinoco one? Are they a dwarf one as well?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I actually got them for like, I spent like 80p and got about 8 different packets of mystery seeds. At one point last year, it was like a mystery pack for like a load of out of date stuff. But yeah, they weren't too great.
Oh, them Kalima are just fab. I didn't save any, to be honest.
Well, if you want some,
they just get you know what I mean? They just,
yeah.
just
Oh
them.
yeah.
You know, gorgeous, to be honest.
I
So
didn't really save
are
them.
they a dwarf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I really like because it's just kind of low maintenance, and sometimes it's just nice to be able to kind of fill an area.
We'll have to have a word with our supplier. Yeah.
Well, I'll give you some. I got plenty. I
Our
saved
American
loads. So.
supplier.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's only, I guess, say them and Brad's Atomic that I haven't got that I'm thinking, shall I hit Audrey and again a private DM? You know, but
I will.
well, Audrey, we get the you can buy Brad's Atomic here, but the pictures don't look the same. They're more like an orangey color than like that black, that the mottled, you know, that kind of what we're all familiar with. So
Yeah.
And I think they came from Romania or somewhere. You know, it's like an eBay. So I'm not sure if they're a.
Oh, you need to get them from the source.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm also. I've just got to get the orders in today. I was also going to send you some Tim's Paradise.
That's the one I'm excited for.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good tomato.
Right, never heard of that. What? Describe it, Audrey.
It's like a. I think. Okay, don't quote me on this because I haven't. I think it's like a sun gold.
Right.
The guy who bred it stopped breeding it, and then I think he passed away. So Brad Gates from Wild Boar Farms kind of brought it forward and calls it Tim's because the guy's name was Tim.
That's nice.
So
right.
Tim's
don't quote me if he's not passed away. I'm so sorry, Tim. I'm really sorry, Tim.
I'm right in thinking Wild Boar Farms and Baker Creek, they're two different companies.
Absolutely.
Right,
but
right.
They do carry a lot of Wild Boar Farms tomatoes.
Oh, right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the problem is, too, that Baker Creek is like the only place that seems to ship to the UK. So that's a lot of why I send more Baker Creek to you all, because it's, I mean, I sent a private package and I'm shocked it got through. Because my very, very, I don't want to say honest husband, I want to say forthcoming, wrote it on the thing.
that's
Yeah,
right, yes.
I'm sending garden seeds, which of course are illegal, but I'm sending them. And they got through. So I was shocked. I was quite shocked.
Well, thank you anyways, Audrey. And thanking in advance, at least that, you know what I mean? Just...
Well, yeah, I want you to get your little Christmas package from the US.
Well, Audrey, look at what I've got here. Where's my camera? Can you see that famous word there, micro? I thought
nice.
picked it up in a garden shop. I thought I'm going to show Audrey that I'm there with your sister this year.
All right.
One.
I will not regret it.
Do, because I'm quad grower, but I've got it anyway, so I'll kind of put them in the quad.
But you actually planted in some soil, don't you, for a quad grow?
Yes.
Oh yeah, then that'll help. Sure.
GB, I was at just while I think on there, I was at a time, we're talking about chilies again, I was at Tynemouth Market, which is in our metro state, like a train station, shuts down for the day or whatever, for 2 days over the weekend, and it becomes like a bric-a-brac market. There was a chili stall there. I'm going to try and interview him for like a Friday night on Potty. And he was saying, I said, I'm doing quad grows, because I seen he had his banner. I forget what the name of the bloody thing, but anyway, sauce is lovely. But he had like not the quad grows, what's the other ones called? What you've got, JB?
Chili grow or auto pots?
Auto pots. He does auto pots. And he said just like a totally different quantity with the auto pots compared to the quad growers. Do you know what I mean? So like even with the quad growers, I don't think you get a way, the auto pots just come way more, you know what I mean? And he was just like total auto pot. And he said he had his set up his polytunnel where he says the amount of liquid water that they drink is phenomenal. I mean, it's just like probably my size polytunnel, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But he says he's got like this big container stack unit thing outside that's full of water that just, gravitates in and however they do it, like, so.
Yeah, very cool. I'm really excited. I'm planning this year, should be fairly simple, to have the quad grows and the auto pots kind of side by side to do a very, very direct comparison. And I'm in conversations with auto pots, so hopefully they're going to send me a couple more.
What are you trying to say, JB?
Little bits and bobs, so I can show them all off properly, which will be very exciting.
JB, then, like you say, you were far too hungover to actually speak to us last week. What was that show? What was the show, and what was it like?
So it's called the Garden Press event, and I'd never been before, but Jessie has been pretty much every year for the last, a while, and it's kind of like a mixture of networking, and the other side of it is like a load of businesses attend with kind of stalls that they set up, and they have little goodie bags and freebies, and they kind of talk to members of the press, or I hate the word, but influencers, content creators, a lot of Instagram people there. And it was just really fun. Got to meet lots of new people, got some new contacts.
So was the companies there that we all know or not? Or
yeah, lots of seed companies that everyone knows and recognises. Premier Seeds Direct were there for the first time this year, which was quite cool. Autopots were there, so it's nice to. It's kind of nice when you've been talking to a company for a little while and you get to see them face to face.
To nuzzle up in real, hello, hello. Did the voice go a little bit? Hello, it's JB.
There were some really big stalls, like what was it, Husqvarna and like Stihl and stuff were there, and like a massive hose lock. Just a colossal display. Quite interesting. Quite a few compost companies there, lots of like fertilizer companies, that kind of thing. It was a fantastic day just for meeting loads of people and spending the day with them and then going to the pub afterwards.
What little freebies did you get then? Like little goodie bags?
You're asking the wrong person. You need to ask Jess about her.
Oh, right. Jess got the good. So, Jess, you've been going for. Has it been good? Has it been going for a while? This event has it?
Yeah, it has, and it's changed so much because, like, the first year I went, when you spoke to somebody, the first thing they ask you is like, who do you write for?
All right.
Because it's like it's a media event, but for like the gardening industry. And the moment you are like, oh, I'm on Instagram or something, they were just like, oh, here we go, and they'd just completely dismiss you. But like they're sort of all sort of slowly coming around to it now, and now they're quite keen if you say like what you do. So yeah, you can see how much it's changed really in like the last 5 years. Big turnaround. Yeah, but this year I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed this year much more than I have other years. The companies were really quite like keen to chat, so that was good.
But when you think though, Jess, I wonder if you could actually put into figures, like say a weekly or a monthly gardening magazine, your channel must get way more eyes on screen, you know what I mean, time. So a company, it must be beneficial for a company now to realise this.
I think so. And I think they're sort of slowly... I think they're also slowly realising that not everybody's out there just to scrounge a free thing off them and then, bugger off. Like that people are actually quite interested in
go. It's not my type of show. See you later then. He says with 3 enormous lights up there that cost a fortune that I've never done yet. But
I think they have like the word influencer has a real bad reputation with somebody who just takes the freebies and doesn't do anything with it. So I think slowly that's sort of starting to come around to that, like people, you can actually have quite a good working relationship with a company or with a influencer or whatever. So it's quite nice to see it change.
So how long have you been going then, Jess?
I think this was my 5th year, or it could have been my 4th year.
So were you writing somewhere before video then?
No.
Right.
Oh, before video, I was Instagram. I did Instagram before I went on to video.
I can remember. I can remember in the day when I used to work for Northumbrian Water, when Facebook and Twitter were banned by our company. We couldn't use if you were caught using Facebook and Twitter, you got wrong. Like you're sitting in the office and that's the only way to get in touch with the company now. You know what I mean? And I get like Facebook and Twitter I'm not saying on the decline, but certainly, that's the kind of the norm there now. That is to use them kind of things. Oh, these my little calendars are popping up there.
I think the vibes were so good on the day, and I think one of the really nice things about YouTube, especially, is that even if if you're trying something out, a product, or you're using it for years and years, people get a very, I mean, I'm pretty brutally honest. There's a few things that I've kind of tried before or like been sent that have never made it to a video, and like I won't talk about them even. I won't even say like I'm going to try this, because that's still like PR. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people, if you start talking about trialing something or you're going to give it a go, they might be interested and they might go and buy it themselves anyway. So quite often I'm very careful about what is selected. So if you see something on most YouTubers' channels, you kind of know that it's something they trust, that it's something that they use themselves. So you do it with a YouTube channel, you're doing a lot of work for like the reputation of a product, which I just think is really nice and quite natural in a way.
And like from our point of view, you do your video's up there, it's still getting views. Like my old ones still get views. Where do gardening magazines still get views like 2 years, 3 years later? I was saying to you, JB, like an old tomato video of mine was still getting views there now. So anyway,
for sure. Yeah,
well, I'm
definitely.
glad you had a good time, and unfortunately we were going to have a lovely show and record it all, but the drink was to blame for. So I just apologise, folks, for not being able to deliver one of the greatest shows. You know what I mean? 2 shandies and JB's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a few more than 2.
Well, I asked ChatGTP for 3 questions I could put to you today. The first one is, Jess, I'll come to you there. Well, I'll come to all these first, but I'll ask Jess, what's the most unexpected plant you're excited to grow this year?
Well, sort of, but actually I'm excited to eat it because I've already grown it, but I've never tried it, is the Minestra nera, which is one of the seeds I picked up in Amalfi last year and have grown, and it is probably the most beautiful brassica I've ever grown. It's supposedly it's a hybrid or some kind of a cross between purple sprouting broccoli and Cavolo Nero, and it is so pretty. It starts off with quite broad leaves, like glaucus, like a normal kind of brassica type thing. But then as it starts creating the spike in the middle, which is like the main broccoli kind of sprout, the leaves become really, really narrow and corkscrew. So it's got like this incredible like blue-grey corkscrew curls coming out the top of it with a little broccoli in it. And it's just started. So this week I'm going to pick it for the first time. And I'm wildly excited about it. It looks so beautiful. And it does the similar thing. So you take that main central head out and then it produces, the sprouts at the bottom. But it just
What did you
is
say it was
so
called?
pretty. Minestra nera. Like minestra, it's actually like black soup is what it means. Which is like traditional soup making cabbage from Naples, from like Napoli.
Would you eat the leaves as well, Jess, or do you not bother with?
So you take out like the whole top sprout section. So where the leaves have gone corkscrew, so it's got wide ones at the bottom, and then in this like top section with the corkscrew and the thingy, they're just so beautiful. And I've looked it up online, and like some of the pictures look exactly like it, and some of them don't. But I'll put, after this, I'll stick a picture of what it looks like on the Discord so you can see. But it is absolutely beautiful. So that's like the thing I'm most excited about at the moment.
So
Nice.
do you just sow it one year and harvest it the next year, or just sow it and harvest?
So I'm trying to remember when I sowed it. I think I must have sown it about June, like early June.
So I mean, it's like it's sprouting broccoli, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's that
same kind of cycle as that. Yeah.
And is it I'm not saying is it a wild like brassica, or is it like comes in a packet of seeds and you buy them?
Well, I bought them in a packet of seeds, but I bought them as a bit of a gamble because I was just in the market, like in Miori. And it was really nice because it was a really narrow street. And on one side, they had all these veg being sold. And on the other side, they had all this seed being sold. And you could, like, without knowing what they were, you could be like, oh, that's that. Like,
Nice.
Yeah, which was really nice. I did the same with the white courgettes that I got from the same place. And the white courgettes that they were selling in the market were only about this long. And I found out why. Like, that's the perfect time to pick them. Because if they get any bigger, they go hollow. So just like these really beautiful miniature courgettes, they were outstanding.
So as Audrey was saying that it's illegal to kind of post seeds, I'm guessing it's illegal for you to put them in your knapsack. And
I had, my suitcase was full of pasta and seeds.
Well, I brought I used to bring the garlic back. You know what I mean? Exactly from them shops, Jess. You know where you kind of have all the fruit and veg outside, and it looks so well. Do you know what I mean? I could never produce the nice, the quantity or the condition of that you see there was, like Italian or wherever vegetables. Have you pulled it up there, JB? Are you having a little?
I'm just having a look, and to be honest, I thought it was a lot more relaxed than maybe it is, actually. Maybe you're not meant to bring seed in. It's very relaxed in this country, though, isn't it? Like it's not like if you go to Australia or New Zealand or anything like that, where they have actual proper biosecurity.
But I've had a lot of trouble sending seed to people. And people have sent me seed, and like they've sent it 3 times, and it sort of hasn't ever materialized.
It's got seed written in big letters on the packet.
Somebody's really earnest husband has written seed on there.
Garden seeds that don't naturally occur in the UK. Yes.
So have you got more of the seeds then, Jess, of your...
Yeah, they there was a huge packet, so I'm going to go again
Right.
this year. But yeah, I'm just really impressed with them and really excited about them. They're looking beautiful.
Might try and like I'm wangling a few seeds off Audrey there. I might try and hit you up there. You know what I mean?
I've probably got the seed here. I've probably got it right here.
From the EU for personal use, you're allowed to bring in seeds.
All right.
From outside the EU, you need a phytosanitary certificate.
Right.
A whole list.
Just
of different
tell
things.
your fella that, Audrey.
I know. I think Baker Creek actually has that.
They must do.
I think that's why they can do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, but not everybody's going to shell out the cash for those.
No.
They're apparently quite expensive. So
Oh yeah.
I can imagine. Well, you'd have to apply for a license and all sorts, wouldn't you? I
Yeah.
guess.
But again, though, I guess if Baker Creek's the only one, they've got a little monopoly there because we're all talking about seeds we kind of get over here in the UK. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I've never once seen in Dobby's or any garden centre Brad's Atomic grape seeds. You know what I
No,
mean?
you can't, though, can you?
They're probably not licensed for there's loads of regulations about which varieties are actually licensed for sale in the UK and stuff
That's
like that
right.
as well, aren't there?
Yeah. Because I think Ian
That's
talked growing
expensive.
local says all that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. JB, is there any unexpected plant you're going to grow? Excited to grow this?
Well, probably the Kalima. It's the one thing I never ever thought I would be excited about a green bean in my life. You know, like I just never ever thought I would be, and I can't wait to grow them again. I tell you what's a weird one as well. Ian sent some aubergines, but there's a green one and a white one, and I wanted to ask if anyone has ever done green or white aubergines, and are they worth it? What do they taste like? Because the pictures are terrifying. There's something about it that really puts me off.
I've done green, white, and orange.
Okay.
The green ones.
Why?
Well, the orange ones are Turkish, and the
they
smell.
look like. Don't they look like pumpkins though too?
Yes.
Yeah,
like-
the ones I grew
little
look like little
tiny
pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the smell from the flowers is outrageously strong and beautiful, and they're. You know what aubergine flowers are like? They're really stunning anyway. But these are like miniature and white, and they kind of come up between the stem and the leaf, like where they join. It's like a candelabra comes up with these little like white aubergine flowers on it, and they're just the most beautiful smelling things. So in the end, I didn't really rate the taste of the aubergines. They were really bitter. But the plant themselves were just wonderful. And like that, I had it right next to the door in the greenhouse. And when you open that door, it was just like, oh, it's heaven. Absolutely lovely.
Oh, nice.
But the white ones and the green ones are very much more like the standard purple aubergine. Like they taste like an aubergine. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give those a go then. Quite excited to see them.
I was going to ask you there, JB, do you think it's worth it? I know we all see these, like, you know, and Baker Creek's a good example. That's showing you these quirky kind of veg and all that. Do you get excited? Because obviously Jess will sow any seed she gets, she'll sow. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't, like the white one doesn't appeal to us. Do you know what I mean? It just, would you sow them just for the sake of trying to get it?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I do like a novelty. You know, and quite often if I'm browsing the seeds, it's the novelties that catch your eye, isn't it? And that make you go, oh, I'll give those a go. But if they're kind of horrible, then I don't get wedded to the idea of, you know, I have to get them right. It's sort of like a flight of fancy, you know, give it a go.
The only thing I'd say about them is that the old-fashioned white and green ones, because they were white, like originally, I think that's why they're eggplants. But they,
oh my God.
They, you know how like you used to have to salt aubergine really heavily to like make it usable or edible. Some of the really old-fashioned ones, which are the green and the white ones, they haven't kind of been bred to the point that, say, Black Beauty aubergine has, where it's just edible straight off the plant. I grew one which was an old, like heirloom Japanese one, which was green, and yeah, that was really, you had to salt it. Like it was really a bit much. Sun's back.
Audrey, have I asked you, Audrey, about which plant you're excited to grow? Or
No, you haven't. I'm not sure. I've
well, I guess
actually been
chilies.
sitting
I
here
was going to
this whole
say,
time.
Yeah,
what's your chili?
I
Your
tried not
hottest,
to talk about them.
the hottest chili you're growing then, Audrey?
I really do think it. Well, no, it's. Oh gosh. I'm going to look it up while we're chatting. I don't have it in my database yet, but so I couldn't look there. But it's variegated leaves with little
Oh,
purple
this is
peppers
this is the
that I'm
one you
going
said
to
you.
grow as a
Yeah,
vase filler. Excuse me.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
vase. Mhm,
So
mhm.
that I'm very excited about that. This is a new, using a hot chili pepper for a vase filler. I think that's going to be fun.
Mm.
I wonder how long then, Audrey. Just say you cut the stem, and the leaves. I wonder how long them leaves last
Yeah, me
compared to
too.
like say, like normal, regular
Right, but I think there are
vase
ways
fillers.
you can treat the cut. Um, I've been doing a lot of reading on certain flowers, and you actually put them in hot water, and you kind of like you kind of seal it off so
Interesting.
that it just, yeah. So I'll probably play with that a little bit and see if that's one of them that I
Mhm.
need to do. But I've never put pepper leaves in water. You just pick the peppers, and then the leaves
Chuck
get
'em.
composted, right?
Mm.
So this is all new to me.
Mm.
Have they germinated yet? Then, Audrey, have they?
Well, they just were put in Thursday.
All right, plenty of time then.
So I do have a couple other peppers that have popped up, but I mean, mine are the little, baby
Well,
seedling leaves.
Audrey, mine are
So
still. Mine are
I'm
still.
way,
You know what I mean?
I'm way behind you guys.
There's only.
Just looking at JB's face,
I
he's
know.
trying to
I
hide
know.
his
I'm
fun,
not.
and
I'm
it's
not
not
going.
hiding it
I'm
very
not.
well.
It's within reaching distance as well.
What have we got any? This was another question that came up. Have we got any for anyone out there? Like spring's coming to kickstart our garden to make it a little bit more ready for spring. Now, Jess, is there any techniques you use to kind of wake up your garden, should I say, or warm up the soil or anything like that? Or do you just wait? I guess you're southern, aren't you? So you're a little bit warmer than
Yeah,
us up
and
north.
but also because it's so sandy, like you can cover clay soil or whatever to try and give it a bit of a heat up, but the sandy soil heats up and cools down so fast, like it doesn't hold on to the temperature very well at all. So it just, the moment like the sun comes out, it's like a foot down, it's hot. It's just, it doesn't. So no, we don't really do anything in terms of trying to heat the soil up. I've experimented with like covering beds and stuff before sowing into them, but I've never found it to make an enormous amount of difference.
Right, JB, any thoughts or?
Yeah, I don't really do too much of that either. You can do like the old, cloche rows or fleece rows with like the mini hoops, and start growing under plastic in your soil. Once again, depending on where you are and how mild it is. But yeah, I think the time has passed for that key kind of bed prep and manuring and all that kind of stuff. You do it a bit earlier. If you've got well rotted manure, you can still get that down as a mulch.
Well, I'm hoping actually
excited about the
me
seeds.
cardboard and me sculpture and all them things are keeping a little bit of the chill off. You know what I mean? So one of them beds I want to kind of just plant through the cardboard, see what that does. You know what I mean? Just to try it. Audrey,
Yeah.
I guess you said your temperature just changes kind of within a week, so there's no real need for you to
Well,
prep.
actually, I'm going to cover two of my raised beds with black plastic because as I look at our forecast into March, I mean, it's getting warmer quicker than it would normally. So I'm going to see, and I want to try to get a few brassicas in. I'm going to try to beat the white butterflies. I want to just do some early ones and be done with it. So I want to get that bed a little warmer so I can get them out. or get them in and out. And I also want to try putting lettuce in really early. So I want to warm up the soil a little bit and then cover it and see if I can't get that rolling.
You know, we all got these dreams of like sneaking it, but it always for me anyway, it seems like, you know, I did some marathon calabrese and cauliflowers, and they came up, you know, fine, and I took them up the polytunnel. I've just had a look the other day, and they're exactly the same as what they were like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And if I sow some now, I know they'll take off and they'll probably overtake. It's just, you know, you always think, oh, I'm gonna beat it. You know what I mean? But you've just got to like throw heat at it and light and all sorts. And even in the polytunnel, it's still chilly for brassicas. You know,
I'm going to give it a little shot. So
give
we'll
it a
see.
shot, lass. Give it a
I
shot.
am. I'm gonna go out fighting.
I did some overwintering cabbages in the polytunnel, and they've just started to wake up like 2 weeks ago, and they're really ballooning and putting on some growth. It's marvelous.
Well, I
was
think,
really pleasantly surprised.
you've probably done it at the right time then, JB, and now they're going to catch that spring time and you will get early crops. You know what I mean? I've had that.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before. You know what I mean? So go on.
But you didn't plant 12 of them, did you?
Why 12?
No, because you'd get 12 cabbages all at the same
All at
time.
once.
Oh yeah, well they're all at quite different stages. There is about 6 or 8 in there. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
We like kimchi.
Well, good. That's the only reason I pretty much grow it. So,
Is there any? Is there a? We are so close to the spring there now, but we're not really spring. We're still kind of winter. But is there anything, JB, for you that kind of says, right, we are? You know, is there a plant? Is there like something happens? That's yes. I'm spring. We're spring.
Yeah.
We're going.
For me, it's just that, you know, when it's sort of from the middle of February where the sun starts to actually get heat in it, and your undercover growing areas, your polytunnel and your greenhouse, they start to warm up. And for me, that's it. I'm like, right, seed time. Just the other day, I finally, you know, I hadn't sown a seed other than my chilies and my onions. That's literally all I'd done. And then day before, Saturday, I did loads. Got all my salad started, got some brassicas started, got my broad beans started, got some flowers started, and it was just like, we're beginning.
begins, yes.
But is it not though, JB? Because we've got. Oh, I don't know if it is at this moment. Right, we've had lovely blue sky, sunny sky, but the nights have just dropped below zero. Do you know what I mean? There's like no cloud cover, nothing like that. So it's just, it's this like.
Well,
good, try it if you want.
yeah, well, all the stuff I'm doing is pretty hardy, you know. So even if it does get frosted, it's in the polytunnel, so it gets a little bit of protection. But most of it will be okay, apart from some of the flowers, which are definitely not hardy, but we'll give them a go. I've got that kind of warm bed, we'll call it, the not quite a hot bed,
Yes,
generating
tepid bed.
a tiny bit of heat. So I've just I found some polycarbonate panels the other day from. Do you remember when I was doing the greenhouse and buy the effing glass? I found those, dug those out of the shed and just put those on top of the hotbed to trap a little bit more heat. And I'll put any of the tender stuff on there. It might help. It might help a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, just to jump in then, what I get excited, I can tell now, is late mornings and late nights. You can certainly tell now, you know, I mean, what we're on now, the 26th of February, there is a difference now with the late mornings and the late nights. I've had because I get up at silly o'clock. So I've got, as you know, this house is full of smart plugs with lights on. So when I wake up at a ridiculous time, there is a light there ready for us. You know what I mean? So I can walk down this, you know, hobble down down the stairs in the morning. I'm having to kind of change them timers now. Because they're coming on way too, you know what I mean? It's light, everything's light, but there's all these lights in the house on when I wake up. So, yes. Jess, anything that kind of signals for you? We're here, spring's here, we're good to go?
Yeah, and actually I've noticed a lot of it this week is like the self-seeded stuff starting to germinate. So it's just like the stuff that's out loose in the soil. We've got masses of nasturtiums have all germinated.
Right, all right.
Like loads of them. So they're all about I don't know, you know how quick nasturtiums go? Like, there was nothing last week, and now there's like an army of them all about this big with their two like little sun discs on either side.
Nice.
So if we get another frost, they'll go. But we've been like 14 degrees day in, day out, and it hasn't been getting to freezing here like at night. I mean, it's getting cold, but not freezing. And so I'll probably end up scooping them up and like potting them up so I can protect them, because if we do get another dip, which we like most likely will, they'll all go, which would be a real shame. But yeah, it's when the stuff that's just out in the open and not being touched or mollycoddled or kind of interfered with, when that all starts kicking off, that's when it's like, okay, yeah.
Well, I think that's how, Jess, I think that's how my garden, if I can just keep off things, my garden grows. It's when I start to fiddle about with it and think I'm a gardener, that's when everything just falls apart. So, anything else? Have we got anything else to talk about? I'm
gonna do that super soil.
Oh,
and I'm gonna spray it everywhere. I'm not gonna do a test. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna spray this bed, not that bed. I'm gonna spray it everywhere.
Where did you get yours from, Audrey? Just like, can you just get it off Amazon? Can you? Or?
No, Steve sent me one.
Oh, right.
And I got one, so I have like 2 packets of this. And you need like a tablespoon for your entire, at least for mine.
Mm-hmm.
And they're only supposed to do it one time. So I'm going to try it this year. So, and I think you can spray it any time. So I might do it in the coming weeks.
Oh, you can spray it any time, because I thought it was like, oh, right. Because I thought
it said it because I checked and they were like, yeah, you can do it anytime.
Right. So is it a micro bug then, Audrey? Is it? Or
I'm not really sure what it is.
I would have thought they would like need heat or something. You know what I mean?
Well, that would seem to make sense. But
I know when we're trying to kill the slugs, you use the nematode. It's got to be a certain temperature. You know what I mean? For them to kind of kick in and grow. I mean, they work for me. Mind if anyone's ever tried or needs having battles, them nematodes, a couple of doses of them seems to get the slugs sorted out for the season. So
yeah,
have you tried them, Jess? The nematodes?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I've not had any great success myself, purely because it's really good if you've got like a contained area, and just like willy-nilly spraying it on an allotment isn't really any good. But I've done it for people who've had like walled gardens, or like when I did roof terraces, it was always you give it a good dosing of that, and because it's a contained space, like, it worked an absolute treat. They were brilliant.
See, but you've got raised beds, so I would have thought, because that's how it works with me on the raised beds.
Yeah, and I'm going to give it a go this year, mainly in the greenhouse and the polytunnel to try and protect the seedlings. I'll give it a go in there. I just think if I tried to do the whole allotment, it would be probably just a bit of a waste of time.
I forgot to ask about the polytunnel, Jessie.
Actually, I have made some progress with it. I've got all the sticky off, and Mum and I have been taking out the staples. Because obviously, like, as you repair it, it's like more and more staples go in. So we've been kind of hoiking them out, and really pleased. The frame is absolutely sound. There's no need to replace any of it or anything. It's really good. So
what about you? Do you know? Can you see your chicken wire underneath yet, or not? Or because you said you've got chicken wire underneath.
Not yet. I haven't, Tony.
No. No. So will you get to see that, or are you just going to leave that buried and then cover it?
It's not down yet, sir. Okay. There's no chicken wire around
I
yet.
thought you said you had chicken wire to stop the... Or is this just an idea?
No, it's not an idea. It's happening. It's just not happened yet. It's this week.
That was the whole point of this, Tony. Is for her to get chicken wire down.
Right. Sorry, I'm thinking it's... Sorry, Jess. I'm thinking it's down.
Tony, you're thinking of the chicken hut, which is lined, right, Jessie?
Yeah, that's already lined.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But
But the
obviously,
polytunnel isn't.
I've been told the polytunnel is not lined yet, Tony.
It's not.
Right? It will. It bloody will. It's just not yet.
It will, I'm telling you. But I've started digging out the soil. But I've got all those roots in the soil. I sent a picture on
That was
our
crazy.
chat. It was so full, and because I've got like my spade, and you're digging in, and as you're trying to scoop it out, because there's all these blooming roots. As you dig in, you pull your spade out, it just slides all the soil back off your spade. So I had to get the roots out first. I've been going through with like a big hook, just like reaping roots out of there before I can really move any of it. So I'm going down there tomorrow to move the rest of the soil.
I couldn't believe it because you spoke about the tree roots on here, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds unpleasant. And then you showed the pictures, and I was like, bloody hell! You're not kidding.
Yeah. And they're right, like up high. They're not. It's not like I've had to dig down to find that. They're like this far under the surface of the polytunnel soil. So
what roots are there, Jess? What plants?
Well, there's three trees, and actually, I mean, I'm embarrassed to say the tree that it is, I don't actually know what it is. It looks really similar to sort of two things, and I've yet to identify it, but it spreads via its roots. So it puts out these really, they're bright red, the root, and it kind of forms a knot, and then it fires about like 60 sprouts out of this. So when you go, it gives me the right heebie-jeebies. Like, is it like shimiji mushrooms where they're really tiny and really close together? It looks like that when you're pulling it out of the ground, like some sort of alien. And the root is sort of, it looks very, very much like a rat's tail. Like it's got that amount of sort of flexibility in it with these, like, and it's just like the whole combo gives me the absolute heebies. When I'm pulling it out, I'm like, as it's coming out. It's awful.
And the actual tree,
gone now.
The actual tree or whatever it comes from, how tall is that then, Jess? Is it?
They're not huge, and particularly part of the reason I'm having trouble like working out exactly what it is that they're on the school side, and the school keeps them chopped down, so they're not in their natural shape. So they're in like these morphed bush forms, and they're also really heavily infested with some sort of I guess it's like a microscopic wasp. So their leaves are really distorted, so it's really tricky to try and like work out what it is, but. Yeah, it's not very nice, and they just suck everything out of the soil. It's like just like fibre underneath there. So, but you can understand like this nice bit where it's being perfectly fed and watered constantly. They've just kind of gone up and just been like, yes. This is
this place here, chaps, this ladies, this place here.
I found it. Yeah, I can understand what they're doing, but it's annoying.
Well, I think we're at top of the hour there nearly, so I think it's been fabulous talking. Jess has been blinded by the sun, so Jess, I appreciate you kind of, you know what I mean?
I know.
I'm like ducking and diving around. This is like a medieval.
It's nice though that it's nice to actually see the sun, though. That's the thing, you know what I mean? It's like
you don't want to hide too much.
Yes.
But Tony, you never told us what you're sowing right now.
Yeah.
I am sowing. I'm going to try before I kind of go away. We're off away for a little bit. I'm going to do an early tomato soon, hopefully within a day or two. Some Crimson Crush, just about 12 to end up with about 8 to get them hardened off very early, to get them even hardened off even more to go outside. So these will be going outside because I want to get them outside. And it's just purely because I've been looking at like old videos. I did some tomatoes for like outside growing, and I watched this video of me, and I pulled out of like a cold frame these tomatoes, and even I got shocked. I went, bloody hell, Tony, you grew something there. They were actually lovely. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, right, and I actually said on film, I saw them in, I don't know when it was, sometime in February. So I'm thinking, oh, right. That fella 3 years ago knew more than what this young fella's doing now. So I'm not even going to sow tomatoes until like proper crop sometime in March, but I'm going to just, again, what Audrey's doing, do you know what I mean? Just try and jump that gun, bring them on, and hopefully when I'm fighting for space, I'm going to chance taking them up the polytunnel and try and cover them in fleece or anything and just really try and protect them and harden them off. Then into a cold frame, then out. Crimson Crush. So they're blight resistant and they're a tough old, do you know what I mean? I've sown them outside a few times, you know what I mean? And got tomatoes, so hopefully.
So the fear is going to be back in my throat when you are taking these down to the polytunnel and it's 5 degrees out.
But I think, Audrey, they'll still get.
I know.
No,
I do. I scream and I scream.
Think of the thumbnail and the title. That's worth more than the actual tomatoes. I've put on my community on.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I
put it
saw
like
that.
which thumbnails you like the best. Actually, everyone. Well, there's a few I think. I haven't looked for a bit, but everyone. It was one of them ones.
Yeah.
My
There's a
water
reason you
system's
see so
failed.
many of
That's
them.
what I'm doing on the other side of the screen when I see
Yeah.
But it worked, Audrey. It worked. And I remember the first time I did it, this must have been the first time. No, it wasn't. It must have been the second time. Because I got tomatoes, do you know what I mean? And they'd hardened off in that cold frames, just got like a micro mesh lid, like with a wooden frame. When I pulled them out, they looked lovely, Audrey. So that's the kind of spurred us to think, well, I beat it that year. Do you know what I mean? The frost will not get me.
My theory with the early sowing is that it's completely fine so long as you plan for it to go wrong. Don't plant all of your seeds. Keep half of them back for sowing the middle of March or the start of April, and just expect it to go wrong, and you might be pleasantly surprised if it doesn't.
And saying that, JB, the ones that you will do it so all year round, but the ones that you will sow in March will catch up and probably will be better. It's just we're gardeners and we love to sow. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like it's lovely to do it. Remember Steve saying like when germination happens, you get that kick. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's in January or my chilies. Like I say, I'm more embarrassed this year than I've ever been about them. Do you know what I mean? But it's
nothing to be embarrassed about.
I know. I think they look great. I don't understand.
Audrey, they're on a Zoom. I deliberately, right, but this next video, I deliberately pushed the camera in so the leaves look bigger than they actually are. You know what I mean? The camera always lies, Audrey. The camera always lies.
Yeah, don't you just put it like 3 feet in front of you so it looks like a bigger... We used to do that when we were catching fish with the kids. Just put it towards the camera and it looked like they caught a whale. Yeah.
But no. Certainly, I've seen on my last video, the next one that's coming out, JBs are going to win awards this year.
I've just had to pot them on, so that they've just moved into 1 litre pots.
For God's sake, it'll be 3 months before I even consider potting on.
I'm actually getting a bit worried because if they get too big, I'm going to have an issue. Because they're going to need to get out of the house.
That is there.
Look, I don't mean to. Okay, I don't mean to. I'm sorry.
That was a good word. A humble brag. That was
I'm not used
good.
to this kind of problem.
Well, Tony,
They're not
think
great.
about mine that aren't out of the ground yet. When you feel like yours are too small, mine are still tucked in.
But Audrey, you've got the rocket fuel summer coming that we haven't got, and
This is true.
This is true. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'll give you that.
But this is why I like chilies. They're such a fickle thing sometimes. You know what I mean? And JB's riding a wave this year. This
feels good
riding
when
a
you get 'em
wave.
right. It really does.
Next year, I will have my victory.
Actually, talking of chilies, just before we came on here, I saw. Have you ever watched any of Katrina's chili munching?
I saw she posted
videos?
that video.
Like just as we came on, like it's she's eating one that's 1.3 million,
Wow.
And the little clip is of her not boyfriend anymore, husband. Has got like split it open and he smelt it and it's burnt his nose just smelling it. So I haven't watched it yet, but I feel it might be entertaining.
And she's eating one of those?
Yeah, but last time I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but they sat on the bench at the allotment and munched their way through
Oh,
chili.
yes, I watched that, yes.
Hiccuping, crying, gagging. Yeah, it was good. Good watching. But
that'll be us in October when we do our chili live.
It'll just actually, I'm just going to replace it with a jalapeno, and I'm going to say it's like one of those jigsaw type. Just like, well, I don't know what's wrong with you all. Or it'll be a sweet pepper.
That was the Scotch bonnet dipping sauce with the pizza the other day, wasn't it, JB?
Yeah. When we went out to dinner, they brought out. We ordered like a really hot dip, but it was like roulette, depending on which bit of the sauce you got. So at first I was like, "Oh, this is completely fine," and then I got a massive bit of chili.
And Niall had a mouthful. Niall had it, who isn't very keen on the spice anyway, and he was literally, the eyes were going, and he was actually like gulping air. It was that hot, and JP was like, "What? It's absolutely fine." The next mouthful wasn't so fine.
Yeah, it bit back. I love it.
It was good.
Wow. Well then, listen, thank you everyone. Thank you for watching, everyone. Audrey, it's always a pleasure. Where can we find you?
Real Food Comes Dirty.
There you
on
go.
YouTube and Instagram.
Have we got anything to look forward on Instagram there? Have we got anything videos to look forward to? Or
yes, I believe one will be posted right after this. So
the JB slot.
I know. I totally stole that from JB. I thought I saw what he did. Okay.
JB, where can we find you, sir? And what can we look forward to next? More greenhouse?
Yeah. You can find me at Naturally JB on YouTube and Instagram. And my next episode will be me scrabbling around in the mud and the dirt and the thunder, continuing to work on my greenhouse.
Jess.
With me yesterday.
Yay.
Where can we find you, Jess? And what can we? And I daresn't ask for the chicken wire again. I got my head bitten off. So what can we look forward? What can we look forward to?
You can find me at Jessie at Plot 37, and this week videos come out on 4:30 p.m. on a Tuesday every week. And this week we're in the pub on my video.
Are we?
We are.
Oh no.
Oh,
no. All right, see you, folks.
Now the truth comes out. Okay.
Did you hear when he said? Sorry, Jeff. Did you hear when JB said it was more than two? More than two. Well, now we see these little halves of warm shandy. I've had enough. I can't no more. Sorry, Jess, go on.
No, and then I'm just, messing around. There was also an exciting discovery in the pond this week.
Oh, There you go. Now, next week we aren't. It's my fault. We are not here, so we're gonna have a break. I'm letting Jess, Audrey, and JB have a week off. Unpaid. Unpaid. So we'll see you the week after that. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.